Yeah, this is a great match. Really dominated as she should. You know, this kind of reminded me why I like Rhea Ripley so much. And Ransom gets an 8.5 and Monty Pacific. So.
These guys beats the fucking crap out of me. My God. I watched this match twice. One of the times I had to take notes for this match. There was just so...
Lost the North American Championship before challenging for the NXT Championship, because that's the way logic works.
It was an end.
Tony Khan said himself, who cares about the rules?
But we care about the fucking rules because this is Life's Opening Radio Road Break. This is all about rules.
Yeah.
Life's Opening Radio Road Break. Hey guys, Kgabo here, and today we're back with another episode of Life's Opening Radio Road Break. And today we're gonna review, I don't think it's there because I haven't found a suitable logo for it, because it's not there on the thing. It's a bit of a task, but whatever. I don't know, probably just have the New Japan logo over there. Well, actually, maybe I can get it. It's not the format necessarily that I want, but I think I may just get it. But either way, we are still gonna review this. About the Raw Roundup, we kept talking about it on some of these episodes, and it's not out yet. That's because I have managed to render the actual video, but I've had problems uploading it to YouTube because I explained this to Ben and Josh, but the thing just kept loading and loading and loading and processing 99% processing, and then at one point it just said could not process this video. That's the only thing blocking the Raw Roundup from being uploaded, so I may send it to Josh somehow and then he can piece it together again. I don't know, but yeah, we may have to find an alternative way. YouTube is really the only way I can think of getting it out there, and yeah, unless there are some other video sharing sites, I don't think so. Maybe Twitch, but yeah, I think I could try Twitch. It's more of a streaming platform, but whatever, I'll see what I can do to get that on there. But yeah, I don't think there's much news, so I think we're just gonna get straight into the review. Yeah, this is I've watched a few matches already. This is Tuesday, and yeah, I'm already at the fourth match, which I'm yet to watch. But yeah, either way, this is New Japan Pro Wrestling Royal Quest III that took place on Saturday, the 14th of October 2023 at the Copper Box Arena in London. And we are back in the UK once again for another pay-per-view. We've had WWE in London, AEW in London, and now New Japan in London. Wow, they really love wrestling in the UK. And yeah, hopefully one day I get to visit the UK, and maybe I'll just happen to catch one of these shows that are so frequently coming to the UK, and maybe meet Josh. I know Ben is going to the UK to go and watch one of his favorite bands, Ezra Collective, next month. He's going to see them. I've always found it weird how people say they're going to see an artist or a band and that just to me, it feels like, it sounds like you're going to the doctor, like you're gonna see that artist for like a doctor's appointment. Like, oh, I'm gonna go and see Taylor Swift next year, and then you're like, she's like a doctor in like a clinic, and she's like, next patient please. I'm gonna fix that blank space in your heart, you know, a reference to I don't know, I've never heard that album, but I think it was just a good joke to make. I have quite a reputation for helping people with their problems. Oh man. Well, let me stop with the crappy Taylor Swift jokes and move on to this pay-per-view back to London. And the first match between Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori, who's part of the Bullet Club. And there's this whole storyline of he's gonna go in and he's trying to challenge Hiromu Takahashi for his IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. And they're gonna have a match at Power Struggle on the 4th of November. Well, that's actually quite a tricky date. I don't know if I can do that because I've got, as I mentioned last episode, not episode 18, but on the Fastlane review, I mentioned that I'm sandwiched, well, that weekend of the 4th is sandwiched by 2 final maths exams, which I'm preparing for. And yeah, I don't know if I can afford to really watch wrestling during that time because Crown Jewel is happening. I don't really care about that pay-per-view. And so that's the one WWE pay-per-view that we'll be missing. And then there's, on the same night, there's gonna be this New Japan Power Struggle where Taiji Ishimori is gonna challenge Takahashi for the Junior Heavyweight title. So I don't know, I may try to watch that. And in any case, I don't know if Ben will be available because he'll be in the UK going to see this band. So I don't know if Ben will be available to review that. In any case, I don't know. He might try, but yeah, I think he just wants to focus on enjoying himself in London. And doesn't really. So yeah, I don't really think we're gonna review that pay-per-view. I will try and review Lone Star Shootout in Dallas, I think, and then Full Gear the following week, and then the following week Survivor Series. And yeah, a potential triple header there. So yeah, that's kind of the agenda for this next month or two. And yeah, anyways, it's a British versus Japanese kind of match. And yeah, they started the match. They locked up. Taiji did an eye poke. He did a shoulder tackle. Robbie did a kip up, this was kind of an indie style match. Like Robbie X was still like doing a lot of indie habits, but I'm sure as he gets to more professional promotions, he'll grow out of those habits. And you know, I'm not gonna say this garbage indie like I always used to say like 2 years ago. Y'all remember when I was talking like that? Oh my gosh. I think you guys can be happy I don't talk like that anymore. That was so cringe. This garbage indie wrestling garbage deathmatch. I still don't really like deathmatch wrestling. but I'm not like hateful towards it as I used to be back then. Oh my gosh, I was so cringe back then. But yeah, Robbie X wrestled in a very much indie style, and I can't blame him for that, because you know he's still on the indies, and he's still quite green. But yeah, maybe, yeah, I think he'll get better over time, hopefully. But yeah, anyways, they do Young Bucks gymnastics, as I mentioned. That's part of the indie style of this match. Taiji offered his hand to shake, and then he kicks Robbie in the midsection. Robbie Hurricane Runners Taiji out the ring. He does a plancha, he pops off, they get back in the ring. He does a springboard swanton for a 2 count. Well, this is not the conventional swanton, because he jumped, he hung vertically onto the rope with his legs in the air, and then he fell on his back onto Taiji, and he did that for a 2 count. They had some technical wrestling. Taiji jerked the arm, he exposed the turnbuckle, and as I've explained before, if you don't watch New Japan, they don't have the same turnbuckle pads as they do in American wrestling, or anywhere else for that matter. They have these solid, not solid, like these, the one singular turnbuckle pad that covers all 3 of the turnbuckles. So yeah, Taiji, and it looks quite, I don't know, because wrestling is not easy, but it looked quite easy to remove that. I mean, because ring boys come and set it up. So yeah. But anyways, let me not ramble. Taiji jerks the arm again, and then he threw Robbie into the exposed turnbuckle. Choked him in the corner, threw a chop, threw a punch. He did hammer and anvils. Robbie escaped a back suplex and hit a clothesline. He made a comeback. He charged at Taiji in the corner. Taiji kicked him away. Robbie did an arm drag, did a basement drop kick for a 2 count. I actually like that basement drop kick that he did. He climbed the turnbuckle. He missed a 450, landed on his feet. Taiji hit an enziguri. He did a sliding German. I don't really like that. I don't like it when Shinsuke Nakamura does it, and now I see Taiji Ishimori doing it. It has no impact, as a normal German suplex. You can obviously tell the guy just falls back as soon as Taiji slides on the ring and touches him. He doesn't, it has no impact. So I don't know why they do it. It's one of my least favorite moves in wrestling. Anyways, Taiji gets back in the ring. Taiji does an Ushigoroshi. Robbie makes another comeback. He does a springboard swanton for a 2 count, but it's not really a swanton. He kind of flipped. He doesn't do it like Jeff Hardy or someone would do it. He did more like a forward flip. His legs went like flying in the air or something. I don't know how. You'd have to watch the match to see what I'm talking about, because it's difficult to describe. Taiji did a running knee for a 2 count. Robbie hit a Pele kick. He went for the cutter. And then Taiji countered with a UFO. I think that's what they called it. It's El Phantasmo's move. I don't know if it's his finish. He'd probably be mocking El Phantasmo, but that's not seemingly who he has beef with. So yeah, he hits his bloody cross finisher for the win, and then yeah, this was okay. Taiji needed this win, you know, to make himself look like someone who deserves a shot at the junior heavyweight title. And I'm glad this wasn't a squash match. You know, Robbie actually got some offense. You know, Taiji had to work to win this match. So yeah, I gave Rassen a 6.5. Matter of fact, I'll give it 6.75, and Logic a 6. So yeah, now this next match. Oh man, I think you'll see what I think about this match. Trent. Oh, sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. But anyways, yeah, I think Ben, you can give your thoughts now. I was about to skip your ass.
Okay, my thoughts on Royal Quest III. This was a pretty solid show. And also, another thing, there were some guys from Revolution Pro Wrestling I was not familiar with, obviously. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to disrespect them because they're obviously professionals. And they are very proud of their craft over there in Revolution Pro Wrestling. So if you guys are wondering why I'm not going to go into full detail about who the New Japan guys are facing, you know why. I'm not really familiar with Revolution Pro, but I know Will Ospreay is used to be world champion over there. I know that. So yeah, I don't watch a lot of Revolution Pro stuff, but if I recognize something from Revolution Pro, I'll let y'all know. Your first match was Taiji Ishimori versus Robbie X. I thought this match was pretty decent. 7.5 minute match. I thought this was pretty decent for what it is. Taiji Ishimori is being protected because he has Hiromu Takahashi on November the 4th at Power Struggle in New Japan. So I don't know how is that going to work. I don't know if I'm going to watch that show specifically because, like, New Japan shows for me over here in the States, it starts at like 4 in the morning, for God's sakes. I don't know why that is, but hopefully the Power Struggle pay-per-view, hopefully it becomes a better pay-per-view than Royal Quest 3, really. I thought the show was not better than, this was not better than Was this better than Battle in the Valley? I think it was. I agree with that. But I don't think Power Struggle is... I think Power Struggle is going to be, like, better, for sure. Anyway, Taiji Ishimori versus Robbie X from Revolution Pro. This was decent. And Taiji Ishimori won with the Bloody Cross. That's all you need to know. They're protecting Ishimori for Takahashi, who they're going to face off for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship for the 1,848th time. Jesus Christ, how many times have they faced off this goddamn year? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I give this match a 6. Logic, probably a 1. This was mad predictable, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not mad about the match. I'm mad about how these guys could have gotten a little bit more time. No, this went 7.5 minutes, relatively 7.5 minutes. So, yeah, they should have gotten a lot more time. Robbie X should have had more spotlight because he's from London and he's in, you know, Revolution Pro over there. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But, yeah, good match. But, not something I would necessarily rewatch again. But Taiji Ishimori is a damn good wrestler. I will acknowledge that fact. And Robbie X is good too. But, you know, I don't know a lot about him, so I'll try to do some research on him next time, for sure.
Okay, thank you, Ben, for that review. And yeah, now we're gonna move to the next match, which was Trent 7 versus El Desperado. It was nice to see Trent 7. It's been a while since I've seen him. He was almost caught up in that Orange Cassidy bullshit a couple months ago. But luckily he escaped from that, and now it's just chilling in Rev Pro and New Japan. Anyways, they actually botched these graphics. It showed there Taiji Ishimori, then they changed it to Trent 7, and it kept glitching out. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. That's a Botchamania moment right there. Oh yeah, oh boy, oh man. Anyways, yeah, oh man. Trent grabs a chair El Desperado grabs a chair, and I was like, the match hasn't even started and we're already taking out chairs. So I gave them $100 fine each. And then they have a chair duel in the ring. They fight at ringside. Trent 7 counters a dive with a chair shot. They have more fighting at ringside. They get back in the ring. Trent 7 was roughing up El Desperado. He went for the pin, got a 2 count. They fought some more at ringside. They got back in the ring. Trent hit a body slam for a 2 count. He tried to rip off the mask. He was dominating El Desperado and controlling the match, which I actually liked. He did a DDT for a 2 count. He still tried to rip off the mask, and then he wrapped. Oh wait. I'll get to that. And then El Desperado was absorbing chops like they were hitting to like no effect. And then El Desperado makes a comeback. He went for his finishing submission, where he wraps Trent's leg around his head, and then he pulls Trent 7's leg like that in. I don't know what it's called, but then Trent 7 got a rope break. He knocked Trent 7 off the apron. He did a dive. He did a brain buster for a 2 count. They got back in the ring. Trent 7 did a punch and a pile driver for a 2 count. He missed a swanton bomb. El Desperado hit a spear. He went for his finish. But then Trent 7 pushed him into the ref, and they had a ref bump. Trent 7 did a gut-wrench power slam. They called it something else, but I didn't hear it very clearly, and that got a near fall. And Trent 7 was frustrated. He got up in the referee's face, and then El Desperado did a crucifix pin for the win. This was a very meh match. Trent 7 looked like a chump coming out of this match, and I gave Raston a 5 and Logic a 4. And now this match, Yota oh fuck, I did it again. Sorry, man. Here's Ben with his thoughts on this match.
Your next match was El Desperado versus Trent 7. I did not expect Trent 7 to be on this show. Surprised the hell out of me, but hey, Trent 7's on the show. Great. I thought this was better than the opener, though. There was a lot of good stuff in this match, though. There was a brainbuster by Trent 7, which I do miss that brainbuster. Trent 7 also hit the pile driver. Yeah, it was a normal pile driver. I thought it was called something, but it was a normal pile driver. But hey, this match was great. This was better than the opener. This went 8 minutes, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I thought this match was pretty good. This was better than the opening match. This should have opened the show. I mean, I feel like I'm not saying Taiji Ishimori should have not been on the show, but hey, with this match, I thought this match was pretty good for the time it was given. El Desperado won, obviously. You guys know the deal. By the way, El Desperado won with a roll-up. Essentially, the mousetrap cover pin that Orange Cassidy does, which I hate Orange Cassidy's mousetrap pin. Is a bunch of fucking garbage. I don't know why I hate this pin so goddamn bad. But El Desperado did it better than Orange Cassidy. That's just my opinion, obviously. I don't hate Orange Cassidy as a person, but as a wrestler, you can kind of see where I'm going with this, because he's always putting his hands in his pocket. He's always with glasses on. He looks like a fucking buffoon out there. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Orange Cassidy. And why am I talking about Orange Cassidy anyway, to be fair? El Desperado beats Trent 7 in 8 minutes. This was a good match. I gave this match a 6.5. Logic, I gave it a 4. Really? The believable near falls in this match was pretty good. So, yeah, this should have opened the show, to be quite honest with you. But other than that, would I go rewatch this match again? Well, if this had more time, I would say yes. But this was a good match. I can't complain about this match at all. Trent 7 is really good. El Desperado is also pretty good too. So, hey, I can't complain at all.
Okay, thank you, Ben, for those opinions. And yeah, now we're gonna go to the next match, which is Yota Tsuji versus Luke Jacobs. They lock up. They actually were hyping up Luke Jacobs. They were saying he's a very good wrestler and that he's beaten Tomohiro Ishii, I think. And yeah, they locked up. The people are cheering both Luke Jacobs and Yota Tsuji. Luke Jacobs made some cheap shots. They had a goofy 1-2. Luke Jacobs did a shoulder tackle. He did a running chop in the corner. He went for another one, but Yota Tsuji blocked it. Yota Tsuji drove it. I almost said LJ. He drove Luke Jacobs' head into the canvas. He threw some chops. He roughed up Luke Jacobs. He did a backbreaker, did mock kicks. They had a 1-2 exchange, and then Yota Tsuji hit quite a nasty forearm. And then Luke Jacobs did a suplex. He did 2 clotheslines in the corner. They had a leapfrog sequence. Luke Jacobs did a big boot and then a body slam and then a senton. And he did a Saito suplex for a 2 count, and I actually like that. Yota Tsuji blocked Luke Jacobs' finish. And then Luke Jacobs hit a nasty forearm. He gave him some headbutts. Yota Tsuji gave him a jumping knee. Luke Jacobs did some forearms. He did a running headbutt for a 2 count. And then Luke Jacobs chopped Yota Tsuji in the corner. They tussled at the turnbuckle. Luke Jacobs did a superplex. He did a lariat for a near fall. He went for a power bomb, but then Yota Tsuji countered with a code breaker, and that was nice. Yota Tsuji did a headbutt. He did a falcon arrow. They laid down selling. Yota Tsuji did a curb stomp on Luke Jacobs, and then he hit a spear for the win. This was actually a decent match. This was fine. I gave Rassen a 7 and Logic a 6. And then something kind of funny happened. By the way, Yota Tsuji joined LIJ. Yeah, since the last time we reviewed his match, he joined LIJ. I don't know if he was part of LIJ when we last watched his match. I think I would remember if he was. But then Yota Tsuji threw Luke Jacobs out the ring, and then he big booted a staff member that was standing. He big booted a crew member that was standing there, and that was quite funny. And yeah, that was that match. And yeah, now Ben can give his thoughts on this match.
Okay, your next match was Yota Tsuji versus Luke Jacobs. I'm not familiar with Luke Jacobs, but he does remind me a little bit of William Regal when he used to wrestle. I thought this match was pretty decent. Luke Jacobs, I'm not familiar with Luke Jacobs, but I heard he's a big deal over there in England. So, yeah, I need to watch more Luke Jacobs matches now. Guy's great. Man, he was pretty good in this match against Yota Tsuji. I thought this match was good. Was this the best thing on the show? No, but I'll say this: Luke Jacobs, if his contract expires, I expect him to get picked up by WWE at the latest. This guy his style, his wrestling, I feel like it fits WWE more than it does like a AEW per se, like that. I feel like it fits WWE because he's a damn good wrestler, if anything. So I don't know. Yota Tsuji versus Luke Jacobs. This match went 9 minutes. I thought this match was pretty solid for what it was. Not much I can say about this except this match probably should have went probably a couple of minutes longer. If you guys are wondering why I keep saying that, is because some of these matches went 7, The opening match went 7. The other match went 8. And then another match went 9. Our next match then went 12. And another match went, I believe, 13. I mean, those are fine. But I don't understand why the UK guys are getting shorter times than the New Japan guys. That's weird. I don't get it. It is a showcase for all of the other British wrestlers over in New Japan to begin with, right? Last time I checked, it's a showcase, right? Pay-per-view. I don't know. Luke Jacobs and Yota Tsuji, I gave this match a 6. Logic probably a 1 because, well, Yota Tsuji is not losing to, no disrespect at all, but he's not losing to Luke Jacobs like that. I mean, Luke Jacobs put on a good match for Yota Tsuji, but other than that, he's not losing because he's still fucking with SANADA, and there are just 5 guys stable and stuff like that. And by the way, SANADA is in another match on this show, and I believe he was in a tag team match. We'll get to that, but I had a sincere problem with what happened at the end of that match. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. So there you go. That was the match. Yota Tsuji versus Luke Jacobs. I gave it a 6. Logical 1.
Thank you, Ben, for that review. And now we're going to go to the next match, which is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Bullet Club War Dogs, the champions, consisting of Clark Connors and Dan Moloney. Drilla Moloney, sorry, they changed his name, thank goodness. Because there's no one else going to take him seriously when his name is Dan Moloney. I mean, they could call him for a better name, Drilla M or something. But yeah, I guess Drilla Moloney is fine. It's better than Dan Moloney, but I don't know if Ben really agrees with me on that. And yeah, they faced off. They defended their titles from Leon Slater and Cameron Khai. This guy, Cameron Khai, he's only a year younger than me. He's 17 years old, and he was pretty decent. These two guys were pretty decent in this match. So yeah, let's get into it. Bullet Club War Dogs jumped Leon and Cameron before the bell. Clark Connors threw Cameron out the ring. They fought at ringside. Cameron Khai got back in the ring. Drilla roughed up Cameron. Cameron fought back. He kicked Drilla out the ring. Clark tried to step in. Cameron shut him down, and then he hit a deadlift suplex on him, which was nice. They did tandem plunges on who is this? Leon and Cameron did tandem planchas on the War Dogs. They got back in the ring. Cameron put in a wrist lock. Leon made a tag. He did a double axe handle on Moloney's arm. He worked more on the arm. Cameron made a tag. He went for Drilla's arm again. He gave him a forearm. They did a leapfrog sequence. Clark Connors made a blind tag, and he did the pow, sir. He taunted. He chopped Cameron. He went after Leon Slater. Moloney made a tag. He chopped Cameron. He got up in Leon's face. He did I think a bow and arrow. He pulled, I think it might be a wheelbarrow or something. He pulled both his arms back and then pushed his knee against his spine. So I don't know what that is called, but yeah. Cameron escapes. He does an O'Connor roll for a 2 count. He does an enziguri. Drilla regains control. He does a body slam. He does some mock PKs. Clark Connors makes a tag. He does a kick. He does a suplex for a 2 count, and then the one guy on commentary, I don't know their names, but the one guy was roasting Bullet Club, and he called Clark Connors a dickhead. Speaking of dicks, they with the titles, they were slinging the titles around like it was their private parts, and I don't know what you think about that. Say what you will about that, but I think Ben might be like, "Hey, yo, pause," when he saw that. I'm sure he was. The people chanted, "Let's go, Cameron." That was one of the few chants that I could actually hear and kind of decipher, because British crowds, they always chant these weird, not weird, but these complicated chants that I can't really understand. And I guess that's the charm of and even when before the match, when the announcer says, "This match is for 1 fall," they all go 1 fall, and that's cool. I used to see them do that a lot on NXT UK. They don't really do it in America, which is kind of sad, but yeah. Clark Connors does a snap suplex for a 2 count. He does some mock slaps. Cameron does a Death Valley driver. They lay down selling. Drilla makes a tag. Leon Slater makes a tag. They have a 1-2 exchange, and the people go, "Boo! Yay! Boo! Yay! Boo!" as they punch each other. Drilla does some chops. He does a hammer throw into the corner. He charges at Leon, but then Leon kicks him away. Leon Slater hits a big boot. Drilla slaps him. Leon hits the ropes. I said it the right time when I mocked saying it the wrong time, and then I said the wrong one as the correction. Like, what is going on today? Leon hits the ropes, and then he hits a nice big boot, which I like. He hit those ropes pretty fast, like quite intensely. He missed an enziguri on Clark Connors, and then he did a spinning heel kick. He kicked him. Drilla made a tag, and then Cameron made a blind tag. I kind of didn't see some of these tags. And then Leon foiled a double team. I think he foiled their finish, but I may be wrong. Cameron does 3 Northern Lights suplexes on Drilla Moloney, and he suplexes both of the War Dogs on the 3rd one. And then Leon did a crossbody on both the War Dogs. He does a kind of a weird handspring cutter. He didn't really get that much of an impact on Drilla. Cameron pinned Drilla, and then Clark broke up the pin. And then they laid down selling. Leon and Cameron did tandem offense on Clark Connors. Clark Connors fell to ringside. Leon Slater hit a Blue Thunder Bomb on Drilla Moloney, and I like that. That was quite cool. He missed a 450 splash. He did a drop kick in the corner. Drilla Moloney turned the tables on them. Then Clark Connors hit an assisted spear on Leon. Drilla threw him up in the air, and then Clark Connors speared him midair. He power slammed Cameron. War Dogs did a spear and chop block combo. Clark Connors speared Cameron, and I think it was on Cameron. Clark Connors speared him, and then Drilla hit a chop block on him, and I think they called it high-low on commentary. I mean, it makes sense if that's what they call it, well, that looks more like a mid, and like a mid is kind of a fighting game term, is where you hit your opponent in the middle. Like a high would be like more towards the shoulders and the head and shoulders. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, that nursery rhyme. Yeah, anyways, where was I now? Clark Connors makes a tag. Cameron falls to their finish. There we go. So that was whatever I said that it was previously, not the finish. And then Leon Slater did a tope con heel on Clark Connors, and that was very nice. Cameron did he jumped over the ropes. He didn't really do a springboard, but he kind of did like a plunge, like you would do a plancha, but into the ring. And as he was in the air into the ring, he gave Drilla a cutter. They called it some kind of cutter, but I didn't get that. Then Clark Connors followed a 450 splash. Drilla Moloney super kick Cameron, or he did more of a thrust kick. Clark Connors did a DDT on Cameron. Drilla Moloney hit Drilla Killer on Leon. And basically what that is, it's kind of a dominator, but not really. So he has Leon in the dominator position, like what Bobby Lashley would do, but instead of just slamming him straight up onto the canvas, as he's slamming him down, he transitions into the pile driver and then pile drives him, and that was nice. That's a nice finish. And then War Dogs hit their finish for the win. Drilla did kind of a vertical suplex, and then Clark Connors does an avalanche spear as the guy's up, as Cameron was upside down, and then as Cameron is getting speared, Drilla turned around and then slammed him. I would say a Falcon Arrow, but that's not really, because you sit down when you do a Falcon Arrow. Drilla didn't sit down on that one, and they did that for the win, and this was a very good match. Leon and Cameron, they had a valiant effort in this match. They made a very good showing against these guys. I almost thought they were gonna win at one point. So yeah, it could have gone either way, but I don't know if you New Japan fans would necessarily agree with that. But yeah, and the War Dogs were good in this too, but apparently these two guys are only a small part of the Bullet Club War Dogs, because there were more of them in the next match. But before that, Ben will give his thoughts on this match.
All right, our next match was the Bullet Club War Dogs, which is Clark Connors and Drilla Moloney versus Leon Slater and Cameron Khai. People are going to be like, who the hell is Leon Slater? Well, number one, he's in Revolution Pro Wrestling. Number two, he's 17. And number three, actually, both Slater and Khai are both 17. So they're pretty young guys, but they can wrestle. This was a good match, though. I'm not mad about this at all. I mean, Drilla Moloney can get off my TV either way. But once again, there's no reason for these type of matches if not only y'all not going to give them the kind of spotlight they deserve. They barely gave like 3 or 4 other guys from Revolution Pro Wrestling any kind of spotlight whatsoever, though. They barely got 10 minutes. They didn't even get 10 minutes for their matches. Like, there's no point. There's no point in booking these kind of matches if not only they're not going to win, but also they're not going to be showcased. There's no point. I'm not saying they shouldn't be on the show, but there should be no reason why they should be getting shorter times. I don't know, man. Drilla Moloney can get off my television either way. I don't care about him. I don't like him at all. I don't like him at all. He doesn't even fit Bullet Club. He doesn't even look like a guy who fits Bullet Club. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Clark Connors and Drilla Moloney, the Goon, they got a win on this show. No shit. Good match, though. I gave it a 6.5. Logic, I gave it a 5. That's the best I give for this match. I don't understand why they are pushing this narrative where Drilla Moloney and Clark Connors are the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. They are, by the way, the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions is Clark Connors and Drilla Moloney. I don't know why necessarily. considering those tag team titles have been passed around a lot this year. I don't know. I don't know where they go with this. I don't know where they go with this at all. But other than that, hey, Leon Slater and Cameron Khai put on a good match with these guys. No surprise here, but man, they should have gotten a lot more spotlight. Just the UK guys in this entire pay-per-view. But other than that, I give this match a 6.5, logic of 5. I thought this was fine. Pretty good show. Good show. Good match. I apologize. But other than that, you get the idea.
The next, thanks for that, Ben, by the way. Your thoughts on that last match. And then this next match was a 6-man tag between Bullet Club, consisting of Alex Coughlin, former Neville Openweight champion David Finlay, and Gabe Kidd. And they fought the GOD, consisting of New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champion El Phantasmo, the current Never Openweight Champion Tonga, and Tonga Loa. I didn't really care for this match, and the part that I did see, it was really like goofy. Like, I didn't like it at all, so yeah, this is getting a 0. I don't know about you, Ben, but I guess you can give your thoughts on this. I didn't like this at all.
All right, our next match was El Phantasmo and the Guerillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, the Never Openweight champion, and Tonga Loa versus Bullet Club War Dogs of David Finlay, who was the leader of Bullet Club, Gabriel Kidd and Alex Coughlin, with Gato in their corner. I thought this match was okay. Pretty solid match for what it was. It's another 6-man tag on this fucking show. I don't know what's going on with New Japan and their 6-man tags. There are approximately 2, 3 6-man tag team matches on this show. There was a lot of tag team matches on this show. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 tag team matches on this goddamn show. What the fuck's going on with their tag team matches in New Japan? I get it, they have factions. I get it, but that don't mean we should have tag team matches every fucking week. That's ridiculous. Anyway, David Finlay got pinned by, I believe, Tonga Loa. Tonga Loa pinned David Finlay. I did not agree with that at all. I'm not saying the match sucked. I'm not saying that. The match was actually pretty good. But other than that, I don't know why David Finlay got pinned. He did not need to lose here. Like, I understand if you're going to lose the Never Openweight Championship. I know, like, you know, you're feuding with Tonga Loa, and that's fine. I get it. But again, it does not make sense. David Finlay is the leader of Bullet Club Gold. This man should be, if anything, champion again. But once again, why is he losing before Power Struggle? Because if you guys don't remember, David Finlay and I forgot, Tama Tonga, they're going to be fighting for the Never Openweight Championship again at Power Struggle. Why lose before a big pay-per-view event, which is literally happening the week after, and then... No, excuse me. Royal Quest was on October the 14th. I'm sorry. Hold on. So Royal Quest was on October the 14th. So like 3 weeks afterwards, like, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with David Finlay over there in New Japan. I don't know what's going on. This man should be champion. And why did he lose the Never Openweight Championship to begin with? I know why they gave it to Tama Tonga. So they're giving him more of a singles rub, and that's fine. I don't got a problem with that at all. I think he's great in the ring. But I don't see why David Finlay should be losing matches all of a sudden. That's ridiculous. I don't get it. I gave this match a 7. Logic, probably a 3. Best I can give for this match. Also, the referee allowed way too much offense to El Phantasmo's group. Absolutely way too much offense. And he didn't even call for a fucking DQ. Jesus Christ. Whoever the fuck that referee was, he's getting automatically fined. Jesus Christ. What is going on with these referees in New Japan? Somebody needs to explain to me why these referees in New Japan are so fucking incompetent. My goodness. That's enough. Other than that, despite that, good match between The Guerillas of Destiny and El Phantasmo against Bullet Club. Good match, though. No complaints out of me. But other than that, yeah.
And now the next match on this card. Thank you, Ben, for that review. If you even did watch this match, because I don't know that, because at this point I haven't asked you to send your videos yet. But yeah, this next match was Ren Narita and Shota Umino versus the United Empire, consisting of Francesco Akira and Great Khan. Francesco Akira's hair has grown quite a bit since we've last seen him. And yeah, the entrances, especially with Ren Narita and Shota Umino, they took way too long. That was like a freaking Randy Orton at WrestleMania 37 2 years ago, walking out to the ring for like 5 minutes. He let his whole theme song play, and then it even played a second time, and he was still coming out. And so that's what that was like in this instance. But yeah, anyways, they start the match. It was Ren Narita and not Ren Narita, sorry. Yeah, it was Ren Narita and Great Khan. They started out the match. They did some technical wrestling. They stayed each other down. They locked up again, and then Great Khan put in a side headlock. You know, that whole thing. And then, why did I say Shota? Oh, it was, no, I was wrong. It was Great Khan and Shota. My bad. Shota escapes the side headlock. Ren Narita makes a blind tag. He and Shota do a shoulder tackle. Ren Narita does a senton. He does a kick. He does a suplex with a bridge, and I think he tried to pin Great Khan. Ren kicked Great Khan. Francesco made a cheap shot to Ren Narita and Shota Umino. Great Khan got some heat on Ren Narita. He did Mongolian chops. He does this with both hands. If you go back to that match, you'll see what he did. I think he did a leg lock. I'm not completely sure. And he knelt on Narita's neck, and then he stood on Narita's ankle as he tagged in Francesco, who kicked Ren Narita, did a thrust kick. He did an elbow strike. He did a thrust kick into a moonsault for a 2 count. That was nice. He threw some chops. He got heat on Narita. Great Khan made a tag, and he got some heat on Narita. He sat on Ren Narita and did that like cross arm. He crossed his arms and taunted on it while he was sitting on top of him, and yeah, that was nice. And then he started to pull both his arms, and yeah, then Francesco went to the ring post, and he was talking shit to Narita. Great Khan did a fall-away slam for a 2 count. He did a kick for a 2 count. He tried to force Narita down, but then Narita was resisting. He did a Mongolian chop again, and then Narita hit a jumping shoulder tackle. And then Shota made a mildly warm tag. The best thing he did in that hot tag was like that jumping, forearm, that double forearm tackle. I like to call it that because it's not really a shoulder tackle. Because he pushes out with both his forearms and takes a guy down. But yeah, he suplexed Great Khan with a bridge, and he pinned him, got a 2 count. And then Great Khan did quite a powerful arm drag. Francesco made a tag. He clotheslined Shota in the corner. He went for the second one, but then Shota countered, then sent Francesco to the apron. Francesco did an over the rope cutter, and that was pretty nice. He went for the pin, got a near fall. Meanwhile, as Francesco was pinning Shota, Great-O-Khan knocked Narita off the apron. And then the United Empire guys were getting some heat, both of them on Shota. And then Francesco did an assisted high cross, which is basically a crossbody, but that's just what they like to call it. He goes for the pin, and then Narita makes a save. He does a drop kick, or I think they actually called it the speed fire. Shota and Narita went for they did a team comeback on Francesco, and then they did a heart attack combination where Shota did a power bomb, and then Narita did a jumping clothesline for momentum. Shota goes for the pin, but then Great-O-Khan made the save. Great-O-Khan did some Mongolian chops on Shota. Shota and Narita did a double enziguri on Great-O-Khan. Shota goes for the Death Rider, but then Francesco escapes with a pin attempt. Francesco does a super kick. He missed the speed fire. And the announcer actually corrected himself and said it's the fireball that he was trying to hit. But I don't know, man. I don't know this guy's repertoire of moves that well. Then Shota does an uppercut on Francesco. He hits a neck breaker for a near fall. That was actually a very good neck breaker. Hey, he did a swinging neck breaker, and yeah, it was quite impactful. He did a rolling elbow strike and then a Death Rider for the win. This was a good match. I don't have much to say. And they didn't even have to go to ringside and fight each other at ringside. It was all in the ring, and it was good. And then Great-O-Khan and Narita were still fighting outside even after the bell. And yeah, I gave this wrestling an 8 and logic a 7. Yeah, this is a good match. And now we'll have Ben with his thoughts on this match.
My thoughts on Shota, Umino, and Ren Narita versus the United Empire, Great-O-Khan, and Francesco Akira. This was a decent little match, though. I feel like it was a typical tag team match, in my honest opinion, though. I get it that El Desperado and Master Wada are teaming up for the Junior Tag League, which is fine. I don't got a problem with that at all. But now I guess Umino and Narita are about to team up in the Junior Tag League. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully it becomes a very interesting tournament thing, whatever the fuck. Look, why is the United Empire being felt like an afterthought here? I get it that Will Ospreay's in AEW, and, you know, he's in New Japan too as well, so he got double contracts essentially. That's fine. But I don't understand why the United Empire is kind of feeling... They're kind of going downhill in a way. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird. Like, I get that the United Empire are good. They are good. They're great as a faction. But they're losing to guys like they're losing to different other guys. They probably lost to like just 5 guys probably last month, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what's going on with the United Empire. They need to get the United Empire's booking fixed right away. Because holy shit. And of course, Francesco Akira got the pin. He got pinned by Shota Umino with the Death Rider. No surprise here. Typical tag team match for me. I gave this match a 6. Logic, I gave it a 4. Best I can give for this match. Other than that, pretty skippable match in my honest opinion. This could have been on the pre-show, to be honest with you. Because if they were going to do something like that, then yeah, I was not interested in this match at all. I'm not going to say this match sucked, but I was just not interested for my taste. That's just me, though. So, other than that, a decent little match. Typical tag team match here. Nothing to talk about here.
Thank you, Ben, for that. And now we're gonna go to the next match, which is a tag team match between just 5 guys, consisting of the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion SANADA and his teammate DOUKI versus the G1 Climax winner Tetsuya Naito. He's part of LIJ as well as his partner Bushi. And yeah, the teams were discussing strategies before the match, and then SANADA and Naito started. Naito played mind games on SANADA. SANADA threw him out the ring. He missed a dive. Naito knocked SANADA off the apron. He faked the dive. DOUKI made a cheap shot. Just 5 guys were kicking Naito. DOUKI made a tag. He did a double back elbow. DOUKI made a pin, got a 2 count. Some time passes, and then Naito has a front face lock on DOUKI in the corner. Bushi makes a tag. Naito makes a tag. He put in what was called, I believe, the moneymaker, but I think that may be something else. Naito was pulling back on DOUKI's chest with his feet while pulling the hair. And then Naito let go. Bushi made a tag. He got some heat on DOUKI. DOUKI did an enziguri. SANADA made a cold tag. And then Naito also made a tag. SANADA did his paradise lock, left him there and broke it up with a drop kick. He put Naito in the fireman's carrier, but then Naito escaped. Naito did an atomic drop. He did a hammer knee. He did a drop kick to the neck. SANADA did an overhand chop like that instead of the usual knife edge chop like that. That's what SANADA did. Naito spit at him. They had a 1-2 exchange. SANADA did a DDT. DOUKI made a tag. He knocked Bushi off the apron. Just 5 guys made tandem offense on Naito. DOUKI did a double foot stomp on Naito for a 2 count, and then they did something called Doki Toki. People were chanting Doki Toki. I didn't know what was going on there. Naito counted a deadlift wheelbarrow suplex. They did ducking and dodging. Naito did a enziguri. Bushi hit a code breaker. Naito hit an assisted tornado DDT. Bushi did a dive on SANADA. And then Naito hit the finish for the win. This was high. I wouldn't rewatch this match again. I gave Wrestling Day a 6. I'll be generous and give it a 7 and Logic a 5. And yeah, here's now Ben with his thoughts on this match.
Okay, our next match. Los Ingobernables de Japan, Tetsuya Naito and Bushi versus just 5 guys. This SANADA, the World Heavyweight Champion, and DOUKI. First of all, I have a big problem with this match. Number 1. SANADA lost in this tag team match. He's world champion. He lost. He lost. What the fuck is going on? We're having world champions lose in tag team matches on this fucking show. On this show. SANADA, who's going to be fighting Tetsuya Naito in the biggest match of his entire fucking career at Power Struggle. Man, oh man, oh man. Never ceases to amaze me. The complete lack of intelligence by New Japan Creative over there. Never ceases to amaze me every single week. Never ceases to amaze me. Listen, this was a relatively... I thought this match was going to go longer, though. Like, this match went 9.5 minutes. I thought this match was going to go a little bit longer, though. Considering it's the world champion in the goddamn ring. but apparently not. I'm not going to sit up here and say this match was not bad. It wasn't bad. It was not something I would watch again, no, but I'll say this. SANADA needs to be booked better here. I don't know what the hell was going on here. He lost, even though his teammate lost, the world champion lost. You don't see MJF losing in tag team matches. So, I don't know. I gave this match a 6. Logic, probably a 1. Best I can give for this match. Honestly, there was not a lot of stuff going on. Also, Bushi lost again. No, excuse me. Bushi won. Tetsuya Naito and Bushi won. Oh, I'm sorry. But I don't know why the hell SANADA is losing. He's about to face somebody at Power Struggle. Like, seriously, come on, man. No, I'm not buying this at all. I ain't buying this shit at all. But other than that, decent little tag team match here between Naito and Bushi and SANADA and DOUKI. Other than that, it's a pretty skippable match, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not saying the match was horrible, but, you know, SANADA should not be losing this world champion. Absolutely not. So.
Right, thank you, Ben, for that, your thoughts on that match. And now we are gonna go to the next match, which was a 6-man tag team match between the first team is made up of Never Openweight 6-man tag team, 1/3 of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ring of Honor World and New Japan Strong Openweight champion Eddie Kingston from AEW, and the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion Michael Oku with his girlfriend Amaris Blair. I think that's how you pronounce it if you go to it. I had to literally search the internet to find who that was beside Michael Oku. And you know, that might be like, I had to type in like Michael Oku girlfriend, which I think is creepy, but I had to find out what this girl's name was so I could write her name down here, and you know everybody who's there. They fought off again. They fought with the United Empire consisting of Jeff Cobb, Henare, and TJP. Henare actually changed his name. It's no longer Aaron Henare. It's just straight up Henare. The people were going crazy for Eddie Kingston because he's an AEW guy and he's at this small time New Japan show. They did this in conjunction with Rev Pro, a British indie company, indie promotion. I'm gonna point out I didn't take notes for this match. Ben will give his full review of this match. I'll give some things that I liked and I didn't like. I liked Jeff Cobb's abdominal stretch. He was mocking Tanahashi's air guitar, and yeah, that was nice. I didn't like Eddie Kingston's machine gun chops because, like, there's no impact. He's like, yeah, there's no impact. I didn't like when he was doing that. So yeah, stop that. I also did like Michael Oku did a shooting star press onto TJP at ringside, and then the match went quite quickly. So in that case, I'm gonna give wrestling a 5 and logic a 2 for that. And here Ben can give his thoughts on this match. Matter of fact, a full review of this match.
All right, our next match in the New Japan Royal Quest III review was a 6-man tag team match. Earlier on, I did complain about too many tag team matches on this show, but at the end of the day, I thought this was the better tag match of the two. No. How many tag team matches were on the show? 3? You sure? Okay. Thank you. Anyway, our New Japan Strong Openweight champion, Eddie Kingston. Also, the Ring of Honor World champion, Eddie Kingston. Tag teaming with the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. And from Revolution Pro Wrestling, Michael Oku versus the United Empire, TJP, Aaron Henare, and Jeff Cobb. I am a big fan of Jeff Cobb and Aaron Henare. They need to be in AEW. Seriously. Can you imagine these guys as a fucking tag team? Jesus Christ. Anyway, TJP and Hiroshi Tanahashi opened up the match. They started with chain wrestling, the usual stuff over in New Japan. TJP, he actually kind of snapped Hiroshi Tanahashi's left arm like backwards. It bent it in a way where it was not supposed to be bent. His arm, I'm referring to. Anyway, TJP working on the arm. Aaron Henare tags in. He works over Hiroshi Tanahashi's arm and stuff like that. So anyway, he beats up Hiroshi Tanahashi for a bit. Jeff Cobb tags in. He beats up Tanahashi. He does a abdominal stretch to Hiroshi Tanahashi, which, by the way, did draw boos because Jeff Cobb was playing guitar on his ribs, which I found it to be absolutely hilarious. That was great. That was awesome. Anyway, Hiroshi Tanahashi, he breaks out of it. He gets the tag to Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston and Aaron Henare, they both tag in. Eddie Kingston, Aaron Henare, they trade shots between each other. They beat the hell out of each other for a couple of minutes. And then Eddie Kingston gets some offense on Aaron Henare. He gets a hot tag. Eddie Kingston hits rapid fire chops in the corner to Aaron Henare. Then he hit a T-bone suplex. I called it a exploder suplex, but Chris Charlton on commentary called it a T-bone suplex. They're both the same goddamn thing, Chris Charlton, just to let you know. Michael Oku tags in. He hits a crossbody to Jeff Cobb on the outside. And then Michael Oku hits another crossbody to TJP. And then he puts TJP in a half crab, which I thought was cool. Back into the ring, Jeff Cobb comes back. He hits the spin cycle on Michael Oku. TJP hits the Mamba Splash on Oku for a 2 count. TJP catches Oku with a spinning heel kick. And then Oku comes back with an enziguri on TJP. Tanahashi hits a sling blade on Jeff Cobb. So the action was breaking down, and referees obviously don't know what the fuck they're doing in New Japan. Eddie Kingston hit his enziguri to TJP. Michael Oku accidentally hit a jumping knee on Eddie Kingston, which I thought was going to factor into the finish, but it did not. So I think they're going to set up Michael Oku versus Eddie, because Eddie does not like when other men attack him accidentally. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, Michael Oku and Eddie Kingston down the line on New Japan Strong. I don't have a problem with that at all. TJP tries an octopus stretch on Michael Oku, but Michael Oku escapes, and he rolls up TJP. 1, 2, 3, and Michael Oku wins the match for his team. So Eddie Kingston, despite getting hit in the face with a knee, still wins the match. I gave this match a 7.5. Logic, I gave it a 1. That's the best I can give for this match, honestly, because, well, number one, it was a standard 6-man tag. The match was, the action in the ring was good, but it was a really standard 6-man tag. I expected a lot more beating up on Hiroshi Tanahashi and then probably Eddie Kingston, but I understand why this had to happen. Eddie Kingston and Tanahashi, you know, they were going to win anyway. I mean, the United Empire really have been in free fall ever since Will Ospreay was, you know, teasing the idea of going to AEW. I don't know what the hell's going on with the United Empire, to be quite honest with you, because Will Ospreay's all the way in the fucking States and all this other shit. I'm like, come on, man. Like, my goodness. What is going on with United Empire? I want to know. But other than that, I thought this was a pretty good match for what it was. And our next match after this was also pretty good, which I will talk about in just a second.
And now the next match. Thank you, Ben, for that review. And yeah, now we're gonna go to the next match, which is between 1/3 of the never openweight 6-man tag team champions, Tomohiro Ishii versus Shingo Takagi. You know, apparently, yeah, this was quite a fight, and apparently the Copper Box Arena, which this took place in, was originally built for the 2012 Olympics back in London. And yeah, also, the Apex Legends Global Series Championships took place there a couple months ago. So yeah, I'm already quite familiar with the Copper Box Arena, because I do play once in a while Apex. I like that game quite a lot. I do watch a lot of streamers play it, and yeah, let's get to the match. Well, not completely to the match, because I didn't take notes for this match either. But I did watch it. Some things that I liked in this match, Shingo did really nice mock kicks. He did a nice back suplex. Ishii did a nice Saito suplex. Shingo did a nasty lariat. And yeah, this was overall a good match. So I'm gonna give this wrestling a 8, not an 8, 7.75, and Logic a 7 for this match. And yeah, on to Ben with his full review of this match.
Alright everyone, our next match was the semi-main event of this show. Shingo Takagi versus Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull. This match was great. This was probably one of the best matches on this entire show. Like, I thought this match was damn good for what it was. They gave it a hype package as well. Tomohiro Ishii, one half of the 6-man tag team champions as well. So, you know where I'm going with this. So, yeah, Shingo Takagi and Tomohiro Ishii on this show, man, oh man, you can't get any better than that, man. You can't get any better than that. So we begin with a collar and elbow tie-up, another big-time lockup, and then they trade forearms back and forth with each other. Shingo Takagi applied a leg lock around the waist as they fought on the mat, so chain wrestling. Tomohiro Ishii then comes back with a power slam after a couple minutes. Shingo comes back with a DDT. Both men lay down selling. Shingo Takagi hit a stiff kick right to the spine, which was nasty, but Tomohiro Ishii was pissed off. The fans chanted, "You fucked up." That's exactly what they said. Don't come at me. That's exactly what they said. Shingo Takagi tries some more forearms. Tomohiro Ishii is obviously taking these, hard forearm shots. He's not budging at all. Tomohiro Ishii comes back. He hits a couple of forearms of his own. He then kicks Shingo Takagi in the spine. Shingo then gets back up. He hits a forearm shot, which actually does drop Tomohiro Ishii. Shingo Takagi hit a back suplex, and then he hits a sliding clothesline, which was nice. Shingo hit a top rope superplex for a near fall, which was great. That looked really, really good. So the crowd was chanting "Fight Forever." The crowd is damn sure into this match. I can tell you that right now. This match was damn good. Tomohiro Ishii comes back. He hits a back suplex. Shingo Takagi, after a bit, he hits a Northern Light suplex, which I did not expect him to hit at all. So they both trade Saito suplexes, and then they hit they hit clotheslines while neither man goes down. So they both hit clotheslines at each other, but they both don't go down. Tomohiro Ishii then comes back with another back suplex, and they both collapse at the same time. So they're both so tired that not only they took each other out, but also they both fell down. So they're laying down, selling, and whatever the case. After a bit, Tomohiro Ishii hits a second rope superplex for a near fall. Shingo comes back with a clothesline, and then he hits the Made in Japan powerbomb for a 2 count. I thought that was the end of the match. I thought that was it. My goodness, that would have been awesome. That should have been the finish, really. Because my goodness, they just traded more forearms after that. Man, that should have been the finish, man. That should have been the finish. They traded more forearms, and then they headbutted each other, and then they both lay down selling again. Shingo hits a Death Valley driver, which was awesome, and then he hits a pumping bomber clothesline for another near fall. I thought that was the end, but it was not the finish. Shingo hits a brain buster. Tomohiro Ishii pops up at 1 because that's his finisher. Tomohiro Ishii hits a sliding clothesline. He goes for another brain buster. Shingo Takagi escapes. He hits a dragon suplex, which was nice. And then Shingo Takagi finishes Tomohiro Ishii off with the last of the dragon power bomb off his shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Academic. Shingo Takagi beats Tomohiro Ishii. Great match between these two men. Holy fuck. I did not expect this match to be really good on this show. I thought this was gonna go a little bit shorter. Like, I thought it was going to go, like, probably 17 minutes max. I mean, I did say the Made in Japan move. That should have been the finish, but it was not. But other than that, hey, great match. I can't complain about this match at all. I can't. I gave this match an 8.5. This was probably one of New Japan's better matches, probably on this entire year, to be honest with you. And there's been so many. I mean, Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr., I mean, I've already seen him wrestle, like, probably, like, around 6 times this year. 5, 6 times. I mean, it's a good match either way, but it depends on what match is really good, though. But, hey, other than that, Shingo Takagi and Tomohiro Ishii, great match between these two. 8.5 right here, and Logic probably a 7. This match was excellent. More matches between these two men, please. My goodness.
Thank you, Ben, for that review. And now to the main event of this pay-per-view, New Japan Pro Wrestling Royal Quest III, the IWGP United Kingdom Heavyweight Championship match between Will Ospreay, the champion, who came out with Great-O-Khan, Jeff Cobb, and Henare of the United Empire, versus the New Japan World Television Champion, Zack Sabre Jr. The match started. They did some technical wrestling. They blocked each other's moves. You know, nothing too big just yet. They're not going too crazy or nothing like that. Yeah, Will Ospreay threw some chops. Zack Sabre Jr. did a nice big boot. He did a PK. He worked on the head with the submission. I didn't know what half of his submissions were in this match, but then Will Ospreay escaped the submission and did a drop kick. He did a Hurricane Rana. He threw some chops. He roughed up Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. did a forearm which knocked Will Ospreay down. He did another forearm, and then Ospreay was like, "Come on, man, bring it on." He didn't actually say that, but he was giving off that vibe in his yeah. And then he was absorbing the forearms. I don't really like that type of booking. That's kind of weird, but whatever. Will Ospreay does a forearm, and then that knocks down Zack Sabre Jr. He did an uppercut, did a forearm, did a flapjack on the rope, and then he did a big boot, which was nice. He riled up the crowd. He went for the plancha, but then Zack Sabre Jr. countered with a flying octopus looking move. I don't think it was kind of like, he was kind of like upside down, so that might have been like the tarantula. I'm not completely sure. Zack Sabre Jr. got back in the ring. He got some heat on Ospreay. He did some mock kicks. Ospreay fired back. He went for the handspring corkscrew kick. And then Zack Sabre Jr. countered with a half crab. Ospreay got a rope break. They had a 1-2 exchange. Ospreay actually kind of used Zack Sabre Jr.'s chest as a springboard. He did a backflip off Zack Sabre Jr.'s chest, and then he gave him an enziguri, and that was cool. And then he hit a handspring corkscrew kick, and that was nice. They laid down selling. Will Ospreay did a phenomenal forearm for a 2 count. He did some Kawada kicks, and then yeah, he threw a chop. Zack Sabre Jr. collapsed. Ospreay went for Stormbreaker, but then Zack Sabre Jr. countered with a back body drop. Ospreay countered the back body drop by holding on to Zack's legs. And then Zack did a neck crank, as he always does. And then he did a very nice tornado DDT. He jumped off the turnbuckle pad. It's a singular turnbuckle pad. For all of you that don't watch New Japan, in New Japan rings they have these singular turnbuckle pads, you know, that and Zack Sabre Jr. jumped off that one pad and then gave Ospreay a DDT, and that was very cool. I like that a lot. And yeah, where was I now? Yeah, Ospreay went for the thrust kick to the hip. What he does is he puts the guy on the second rope, and then he mounts his head to be stuck to the turnbuckle pad, and then he super kicks his head, and yeah, that's quite cool. Let me see if I so anyways, yeah, Ospreay went for that again, but then Zack Sabre Jr. countered with an airborne rear naked choke. Yeah, it was kind of like, he was, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Just go watch the match. Yeah, Ospreay went for it again, but then Zack Sabre Jr. countered with an uppercut. Zack Sabre Jr. did an inverted snap me, and then he went for the neck with a submission. Well, Ospreay got a rope break. They had a back and forth tussle. They laid down selling. Ospreay did a hell of a kick. He did a thrust kick at the corner 3 times, what I described earlier in this review, in this match review. He did a flying forearm. He missed a hidden blade. Zack Sabre Jr. tried to counter it. Ospreay did a deadlift German suplex, did a sky twister press, went back in the ring. Ospreay did a falcon arrow. He did a corkscrew moonsault for a 2 count. Zack Sabre Jr. escaped from a stormbreaker. He stomped on the arm, and you know, like what he did to Ren Narita at Wrestle Kingdom this year. Ah, Narita! Boom! That was funny. Yeah. He did a drop kick. They laid down selling. He stomped on the arm again. Ospreay did a Spanish fly for a 2 count, and that was nice. He did a forearm with Ospreay did a forearm with the bad arm, you know, because Zack Sabre Jr. jumped on it. They had a 1-2 exchange. Ospreay did a super kick. Zack Sabre Jr. escaped once again, another stormbreaker. They blocked each other's move. Zack Sabre Jr. did a neck crank. They laid down selling. They had a 1-2 exchange, and then Zack Sabre Jr. did a sit-up powerbomb for a near fall, and that was very cool. He did a nice PK, and then he countered an Oz cutter with an arm bar. Ospreay did a powerbomb to escape that hold. He hit an Oz cutter for a 2 count. He did a hidden blade, hit a stormbreaker for a near fall. They had a tussle at the apron. Zack Sabre Jr. counted an Oz cutter with an avalanche arm drag into an armbar, and that was very cool. He switched to the triangle. Ospreay tried to escape. Zack Sabre Jr. did the time drive. I think that's what they called it. I don't know exactly what it was. And he did that for a near fall, but either way, it was very cool. He reapplied the triangle. Ospreay got a rope break. They laid down selling. Zack Sabre Jr. did a PK. He did a roundhouse kick. He did another PK. And then they had a brutal 1-2 exchange. Zack Sabre Jr. did a snapdragon suplex, and that was nice. And then they you know, collided and fell down. They laid down selling, and then Ospreay did a super Oz cutter from the top rope, and that was also cool. Zack Sabre Jr. countered the Stormbreaker with a flying octopus. Ospreay broke it up with a Michinoku driver, I think. He dropped him on his he had Zack Sabre Jr. on his back and then dropped him down, and yeah, that was very cool. I like that a lot. And yeah, let's see what they did next. Zack Sabre Jr. countered a hidden blade with a triangle again. That was also cool. Ospreay got a powerbomb escape. He did a whole what? Hidden blade, whole what? I think I was about to say home breaker. Ospreay did a hidden blade and then a stormbreaker for the win. This was a very good match. However, it shouldn't take two Stormbreakers to beat Zack Sabre Jr. Speaking of whom, Zack Sabre Jr. is a champion and he lost here again. They laid down selling too many times. But other than that, this was a fantastic match. I gave wrestling originally an 8. Matter of fact, I'm going to give wrestling a 9. And Logic a 7. And you know, Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. showed each other respect. Ospreay bowed to Zack Sabre Jr. and he ordered the fans to thank him, and the people, and they all chanted, "Oh, Zack Sabre Jr." And yeah, and then Zack Sabre Jr. kissed who's it? Ospreay on the head, and yeah. I don't know, some people may be ticked off about that, but yes, yeah, that was a nice moment. You know, Ospreay is one of my favorite wrestlers, right? If not my #1 favorite wrestler right now. He's one of the top 5 wrestlers in the world right now, and also Zack Sabre Jr. If not top 5, at least top 10 wrestlers. We've reviewed so many matches of him, and unfortunately we had to give one of his matches a 0 rating, and that's no fault of his own because Orange Cassidy was in it and he was doing his goofy stuff, and they put the belt on him. They put the freaking international belt on him again. After John Moxley had his injury, man, I was so happy they took it off of him, and then John Moxley got injured and they put it back on him. That's so stupid, man. But hopefully his second reign won't be nearly as long as his first reign was. He went for almost a year. That's way too long. But yeah, you know, I thought this was an okay pay-per-view. This wasn't bad at all. And yeah, Ospreay cut a promo after this. He took a sign saying attendance tonight 81,335. You know, they were making fun of All In after the numbers were messed up and stuff. What? They still touring. I thought they said they were taking a break, but I guess that's after their final. You know, this is. I think if you hear the song, you might know who I'm talking about if you're a fan of this band. But if you're not, it's Japanese Breakfast. Their lead singer posted on Instagram that the band's gonna take a break for a year, which. After 2 years of touring, and yeah, 2.5 years of touring, you out of your damn mind? I would take a even longer break after that. So yeah, they completely deserve that break. But anyways, I deserve a break after reviewing this pay-per-view, which I probably will get. You know, I won't be reviewing anything until Full Gear. Yeah. Anyways, Ospreay cut a promo after the match. He thanked, of course, as I mentioned, Zack Sabre Jr. and the people trying to, Zack Sabre Jr. And then I could hardly make out what Ospreay was saying because the audio was generally not very good, at least for me, but I think I get the gist of what he's saying. You know, he's like, thank you guys for coming and supporting this event. And but this was a fine pay-per-view. Not great, but it was good. Better than Fastlane, definitely. And yeah, I gave this pay-per-view Wrestling 7.5 and Logic a 7. And yeah, I'll give my closing thoughts, but whatever. On to Ben with his review of it. Sorry, man. Sorry. Yeah, you know, I like stuttering stuff and like it's all haphazard. But here's Ben with his thoughts on this match.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, Tama Tonga came out after the match. Tama Tonga, by the way, the new Never Openweight champion. Tama Tonga and Shingo had a match during the G1 back in, I believe, August. No, not August. I think it was July. Yes, it was July. The G1 is normally in July. Anyway, they had a match at the G1. Tama Tonga offered Shingo Takagi a title shot, and he said yes, he accepted, and it will take place in Las Vegas on October the 28th, which I did watch myself personally, and Tama Tonga retained the Never Openweight Championship, and there you go. That was a pretty good match, and there you go. Our next match after was Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP United Kingdom Championship. This was the best match on this entire show. By leaps and bounds, this was the best thing on the show. I really enjoyed this match for what it was, and even though I've seen these guys wrestle multiple times already, it doesn't get old. They just work so well together, man. It becomes really hard not to notice the work they put in these matches. It becomes really hard. And the fact of the matter is this. Will Ospreay is not losing the IWGP United Kingdom Championship under no way, shape, or form. But I'll tell you what. Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay are damn good wrestlers, man. I can watch these guys wrestle for a whole hour. A whole hour with the way they fucking wrestle. These guys are just so good, man. Just really, really, really good. Will Ospreay retained, obviously. I'm not really going to go over the rest of the match because Kgabo is already going through the rest of the match anyway. My thoughts on this match and really on this entire show, to be honest with you, this match right here, this was really good. Was it better than their G1 match? No. Because the G1's a bigger platform. But this match is right up there with that G1 match. It's right up there. It is right up there for me, honestly, because this match was so good. I could have seen these guys fight for a whole hour and a half with the way they fucking wrestled on this show. My God, what a great match these guys had. So Will Ospreay retains, and then Will Ospreay, by the way, he did cut a promo. Will Ospreay says he is the best. He made an open challenge for the United Kingdom Championship. It was answered by Shota Umino, who beat... let me find out who the hell did he beat. Give me a second, everybody. I know... yeah, it was Shota Umino and Ren Narita in that tag team match. I know that for sure. Let me find out what the hell... who they beat. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I know who they beat now. Cameron Khai and Leon Slater, who, by the way, just got signed to Impact at the time of this recording, as a matter of fact. So he's in Impact now. So that's going to be awesome for Leon Slater. And I wish Leon Slater the absolute best. Anyway, Shota Umino and Will Ospreay for the United Kingdom Championship. Take my money. It's going to be a great match, man. The question is, where the hell is this match going to be at? Is it going to be at Lone Star Shootout or a Power Struggle? I mean, with the way they were setting it up, it was kind of like they're going to save it for Power Struggle, I suppose. But I don't know. Hey, this was a great show. This show, in overall, a solid 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10 show. Excellent show. My goodness, you can't get any better than that, man. This show, top to bottom, was actually entertaining and very enjoyable to watch. Like, I can watch this show over and over again and never be bored. This show was awesome. Another great New Japan show as always, and I'm interested in Power Struggle now that I'm talking about it. So, there you go. That's my thoughts on the entire show, and I'll hand it back to Kgabo to finish off with the rest of the show.
thank you, Ben, for that review. And that was New Japan Pro Wrestling Royal Quest III in London. Another London pay-per-view, our third London pay-per-view review this year that we've done. And yeah, that's crazy. This was a good pay-per-view, as I mentioned already. I gave this pay-per-view Wrestling a 7.5 and Logic a 7. And yeah, we will be back for Full Gear, possibly, hopefully. And then the following week we will review WWE Survivor Series, hopefully with Josh. And you know, who knows what's gonna happen there. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Survivor Series. Hopefully it's a good pay-per-view. Hopefully, maybe, we said Damian Priest shouldn't cash in until the Royal Rumble. But yeah, hopefully some good stuff happens at Survivor Series. And yeah, we'll be back for Full Gear. But anyways, on behalf of the main host of Love Soapin' Radio, the co-producer of Love Soapin' Radio, Certified Bangers, a temporary co-producer of Love Soapin' Radio, Rope Break, and a guest host on this podcast, Love Soapin' Radio, Rope Break, and the main host of the Mysteries of Life and the Musical Circle podcast, a recurring guest host on the Soapin' Radio, Certified Bangers, assistant host of this podcast, the Soapin' Radio, Rope Break, and also my good friend Ben Charles and Joshua James Jenkins, as I forgot to mention, and also an enjoyer of the brand new Insomniac Spider-Man 2 game, which everybody is loving. This is Kgabo signing out.